DMing for apathetic players. As a DM, one of the most infuriating things isn't a bad player, but apathetic players. They are impossible. It's not that they don't care, it's that they can't really do anything other than go with the flow. I had a group for about 6 months, a 6-person party. 3 people were hyper apathetic, which for the record, apathetic just means like you don't contribute a whole lot, you just kind of sit there quietly and listen more than you participate. 3 people were hyper apathetic, 1 person wanted to just meme on everything, and 2 people were actually engaged with the material. The hyper apathy means they rarely contribute to things beyond just combat. They fight, they roll dice, and then they just sit there. When they are the only people at the session, they contribute but fail to know anything. For example, trying to get them to engage with NPCs, generally they won't really give you much. But the problem is that you feel like a jerk kicking them out. They talk up and down about how excited they are to play, and they do nothing all session. This is actually something I can intimately sympathize with, because in the group that I DM for, personally, some of my best friends who I have been DMing for like 3 years now, I would say at least 2 or 3 of them probably fit this mold a little bit. This mold of like the apathetic player. Don't get me wrong, they're not quite as bad as this. They do participate in the role play here and there, but they are definitely on the quieter side, especially when compared to 1 or 2 of the other players in the group that are much more into the RP and do a lot more of the talking. When it comes to interacting with NPCs, generally everyone will look to 1 person at our table because they're the only one who really engages with those conversations. And as a DM, yeah, sometimes it's kind of a bummer, especially when you want to specifically RP and bring some of that backstory in with those quieter players. But at the same time, I could never bring myself to punish them or make them feel bad about it, because that's just how they play. That's how they're comfortable playing, you know? Not everyone is super comfortable going all out with the RP. That's just kind of how it is. Unfortunately, the reality of that situation is that means some of those apathetic or quieter players just aren't going to fit with certain DMs. They really aren't going to work together as a group. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. I would say you can encourage them to come out of their shell a bit if they're just a bit shy, but if after a long time, like 3 years, they are still just a quiet player, then that's likely just how they are. Doesn't mean they're not having fun, doesn't mean they shouldn't get to play D&D. They just need to find a DM that can make that work for them.